Hi everyone, welcome to Math 230. I'm your instructor. My name's Professor McLaughlin. I'm on Canvas for our course here. And on the left side, you'll see the following tabs. You'll see Home, Assignments, Discussions, Modules, and Grades. So let's click on Home, and it'll take me to the page I'm currently on. Just my internet's a bit slow at the moment. There it is. Okay, so I tell you to click on the Start Here button. If you click on this, it will take you to the video that you're watching right now. Okay, so this is a face-to-face class, so you're expected to attend the classes in person during the scheduled class meeting times. But it's going to be taught as a flipped class, which means that you'll be actively engaging with the material during each class. So I won't be just lecturing, but you'll be actually participating during the class. Okay, so let's go down here. And I have links to important class information. I have the syllabus, how to access the course material, important information about lecture periods and class content. And at the bottom, I have my contact information, my office hours, and my email. So let's go over the syllabus. So clicking on the syllabus, link here, will take me to the syllabus. Let me move this guy over here. Okay, so this class is going to meet on Monday, Wednesday from 6 to 8:05 in ME 104. My email address. And here's the office hours. And I'll be available during my office hours in my office in UH 234 or on Zoom. And to get to my Zoom office, you're just going to click on this link right here, and it will take you to my Zoom office, which will work during the office hours time. Prerequisite for this course is Math 160. And here's the textbook we'll be using. First course in differential equations with modeling applications. Zill is the author. I have listed here as a 10th edition, but you can use an earlier edition if you want, because I'll be assigning homework, but I will not be collecting it. So if you do the homework from an older edition, that's fine too. There may be slightly different questions, but it'll be good enough. Okay, course description, you can look at that. Just over further. Okay, so course modality, I kind of talked about already. So this is a face-to-face class, so you're expected to attend in person during the scheduled class meeting times. But when you come to class, you're going to need to bring a smartphone or an other device that has, so you can take pictures. And also you should bring a pair of headphones to class. And again, it's going to be taught as a flipped class, which means you'll be working on the class material during class. And I'll be more just like answering questions and going over certain things, but I won't be lecturing the full time. So each day of class will consist of either a lecture, a quiz or test period, or a lecture period. So the lecture period, students will have 24 hours to work on a set of lecture questions that will be posted on Canvas. So for example, our first lecture period will start on Sunday, January 8th at 6 p.m. and will end on Monday. So the lecture period starts 24 hours before the start of our scheduled class meeting time. So you'll have 24 hours to work on the set of lecture questions that I post. And if you post a correct answer for a lecture question within the time frame specified on the question, you'll get some extra credit points. And during our scheduled class meeting, I'll be posting solutions and answering questions. So when you've finished the lecture questions for a given day and I've looked at them and said they look good, you can leave a bit early. Okay, So I'll be sending the class numerous emails each week, starting a few days before the first day of class. So make sure you check your emails on a daily basis. So here's a video of what you need to do at the beginning of each lecture period. You should look at that. And here's how to participate in the lecture periods. You should look at that video also. So during the lecture period, I'll be checking the discussion board a few times before our scheduled class meeting time, and we'll look at your work and answer any questions that you post. Okay, so student learning outcomes, you can look at that. So attendance. So I'll be passing around a sign-in sheet during the face-to-face class, but also you need to sign in on Canvas as well. And if you do miss more than 2 classes, you may be dropped, but don't assume that I will drop you. If you want to drop the class, make sure you drop it yourself. Okay, homework, as I mentioned already, I'll assign it, but I will not collect it. So the way you'll earn your points is from quizzes, exams, and the final. So it's going to be 8 quizzes, and no makeup quizzes will be given, but you can drop your lowest quiz score, and you'll have 2 hours to complete each quiz, and there'll be a 1% penalty for every minute your quiz is late. You'll be taking your quizzes and exams online. So here's a video on how to access your quizzes or tests. But before each quiz or test, you're going to have to sign an agreement. And here's a video on how to do that, stating that you will not cheat. So you need to sign that agreement. If you do not sign that agreement before your quiz, you'll get a 0 on your quiz or test. So make sure you sign that agreement. And there'll be 2 exams. No makeup exams will be given. Okay, same thing, 1% penalty for every minute your exam's late. You'll have 2.5 to 3 hours on each exam. It'll be taken online. And then your final exam, your final exam score can replace your lower test score if it's better. So for example, say on test 1, you got 75%, on test 2, you got 80%, and on the final, you got 78%. In that scenario, your final exam score to 78 would replace your 75, your test 1 score, but only if it's better. So if you did worse on the final, it would not replace your one of your test scores. It's only if you do better on your final. Okay, and here's the weights of each item. So the tests will be 30% of the grade, quizzes will be 40% of the grade, and final will be 30%. And grading policy, just standard. And here's tutoring services. You can look at that, but it's some link to the Learning Center here. If you need help, go to the Learning Center. But I suggest you come to my office hours first and then go to the Learning Center if you need additional help. Study tips, you can look at that. So if you have a disability and need an accommodation to participate in this class, email me as soon as possible and we can work something out. Important dates, you can look at those. Student resources, you can look at that. So here's our schedule. So you can see day 1, we'll be going over module 1. Day 2, we'll continue going over module 1. Day 3, we'll have our first quiz and so forth. So everything's laid out for the whole semester here. Okay, so you can see pretty much every week we'll have either a quiz or exam. You can see here, because there's 8 quizzes, 2 exams, and a final. So that's just about every week there is a quiz or an exam. Okay, so now let's go back to the home page for a second. So let me just click on home. Okay, because I want to show you, you can access the class content from the bottom of the syllabus, but also if you go down where it says class content, if you click on that, that will take you to the same schedule that was at the bottom of the syllabus. It's just easier to access here. So it's the same. Or another way you can access the class content is go back to the home page. And if you scroll to the bottom, or right here, it says what to do each day. So days 1 through 3, click on that. And it gives you the first 3 days, what you need to do. So module 1, day 1, module 2, day 2, and then the third day, we'll have a quiz. So let's click on, so suppose it's day 1. So we're going to click on module 1. That will take us to a module 1 material. So at the top, we have the objectives of the module. You can look at those. Below that, we have a practice quiz. If you click on that, it takes you to a practice quiz. So this quiz will look similar to your actual quiz. So your actual quiz will look similar to this. So there's going to be 3 questions on there. And in the videos that are in this course, I will go over all these practice quiz questions. Okay. Then below that, you have the homework. So if you click on that, it tells you which homework you should be looking at for this module. So it has the homework on the top there, and it has videos below of similar type questions for those homework questions. Okay, let's go back. All right, so below that, there's practice submitting a quiz. So if you click on that, you can practice submitting your a quiz before you take the actual quiz to make sure you know how to submit it. So it walks you through how you can submit a quiz, and then I can check to make sure you submitted the test quiz correctly before you take the actual quiz. So you can look at that. Let's go back. All right, so below that now, you have your day 1 stuff. So as I said, the lecture period stuff will start 24 hours before the start of the scheduled class. So our first class is on Monday, January 9th. So this stuff's going to be available on the 8th. So you can see it's going to be locked until January 8th. Let me just leave the student view for a second so you can see how you'd sign in. So pretty much you just, you can watch the video here, but pretty much you sign your name in a text box and you just press submit. Okay, let's go back to student view here. All right, and let's go back to module 1. So another way you can get to the module 1 is just click on modules here and go down to module 1. I'll take you back to module 1. Okay, so once you've signed in, then you can start doing the questions for day 1. You can see here's day 1 up here. So you have to do attendance first, then you can do the student discussion 1, lecture question 1, lecture 1, question 1, lecture 1, question 2. So if you click on them now, again, they're all locked until January 8th, until 6 p.m. That's Sunday. Okay, so let me just leave the student view again and look at the lecture 1, question 1, so you can kind of see what it looks like. Okay, leaving student view. Okay, so let's go down to lecture 1, question 1. So if you click on this now, this is what it looked like on January 8th after 6 p.m. You'll be able to get in. So at the top, I just described what we'll be covering in module 1. So then I ask you to start watching these 2 videos here. So when you're watching those videos, then I tell you to work on this question. So if you click on this, it will take you to the question. So you're going to watch the videos then and then try and answer the question. And I give you a hint also. If you click on this, it'll give you a hint. And if you post a correct answer to the question, looks like before the first 60 minutes of our scheduled class meeting, you'll get 2 points extra credit added to your first quiz score. And you can attempt the question as many times as you want. So if you post your solution and it's not correct, I can look at it and I'll say, okay, it's close, but you should change it. Then you can go back and change it and resubmit it again and keep doing that until you get it correct or you run out of the time. Okay, after the 60 minutes in class, I'll be posting the solution. Okay, so how you'll post your solution then, you have a reply button at the bottom. Don't use that one. Go up to the top and click on this reply button here. I made a video on how to participate in the lecture periods. You can look at that. I'm just giving a brief summary here. And then once you click on that reply button, you can click on insert and then image and upload image. So you can then take a picture of your work on your phone and then upload it. But you should watch how to participate in that the actual video I made, because I want you to share it a certain way. I don't want you to just post a picture there, but I want you to embed a link instead to your picture, because otherwise it's too hard for me to keep track of everything. So make sure you watch that video before you start posting here. So that's the main things, I guess. So let's just go back to the home page. Okay, so just to recap, on January 8th at 6 p.m., you'll have access to the day one material and you can start working on it ahead of time. And I'll be looking at your work before the actual class meeting. So I'll probably look at it Sunday evening and I'll respond to what you post. And then during class, I'll be also looking at your work. So that's how class will work. You'll be working on these lecture questions. Okay, so that's the main thing about the class. So I'll see you guys then on January 9th at 6 p.m. Okay, see you.